Dramatization.
After a car wreck, you may have to fight with a highly trained insurance company rep whose job is to knock your damaged claim down and out. It's a bad idea to enter the ring alone against a trained boxer, and it could be a bad idea to fight against a big insurance company by yourself. When the bell rings, attorney Dennis Spurling will be there to fight for your rights. If you've been seriously injured in a car wreck, call me, attorney Dennis Spurling, at 866-529-2444. That's 866-529-2444.
Dramatization.
Bad drivers cause car wrecks. Not paying attention to the road, operating electronic devices, and drinking while driving can lead to serious injuries. If you've been the victim of a bad driver, a trial lawyer may be able to help you recover money to pay your medical bills, reimburse you for lost wages, and compensate you for the pain caused by your injuries. If you, your friends, or family have been injured in a car wreck, contact me, attorney Dennis Spurling, toll free, 866-529-2444. I'm here to help.
Hi, my name is Dennis Spurling. I'm not a lawyer, but my daddy is.
Yeah, if you've been hurt in a car accident, call my daddy.
No need to scream and yell like a little kid.
Yeah, no yelling.
My daddy will fight for your rights.
Yeah, fight for your rights.
If you've been involved in a car accident, call my daddy, attorney Dennis Spurling.
Hello, I'm attorney Dennis Spurling. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call me at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy, daddy.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and these are my two adorable and handsome sons. And that is my ex-husband, attorney Dennis Spurling. He practices personal injury law and will be more than happy to help you with claims arising from automobile accidents. He doesn't get paid unless you get paid. And as we first wives know, the more our ex-husbands get paid, the more we get paid. So let me help him help you. Call Mr. Spurling at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy.
I'm Dennis Spurling. I don't want you going around picking on anybody, and I don't want you to be a bully. It's my job as father to prepare my sons for what's out there.
Anthony, my trainer, is your trainer.
That's my trainer now.
Yeah. Drop. No good.
Every kid needs to have that lesson.
How's it going with those slabs? They have a sign on them. They're for sale, right?
Roman, wax on, wax off, like that.
Coming up next on
Hi, I'm Stephanie Spurling.
Passport bros are men that are so fed up with Western women because we're all...
I'm a boss. You know, I had to let Stephanie know I wasn't going to be able to get the boys this weekend.
Why can't you watch them today?
Well, I mean, today I can't. I mean, I had an emergency come up.
But at the end of the day, I need your help.
He has two sons that he needs to help raise with you.
As far as what her friends have to say, I don't really care as long as my kids are happy.
Co-parenting with the Spurlings. Coming up next on
I know you're still going to be on a prowl for like SUV or a van or something, right?
Bentley, GT, Continental, two-door, pewter. Are you sure? She's pregnant.
And those two babies. And anybody who can't get in or fit in needs to get out. Conversations
I know.
that you guys can have.
Okay.
Just to keep, we have a great structure.
Stephanie was talking all that stuff about why I shouldn't get the car. And as soon as I get it, now she wants to take it for a spin.
Co-parenting with the Spurlings.
Right now, she and I are negotiating. I'm trying to get her to do some dances for me. Some of them sweet, sexy Latina booty dances. That's what I'm talking about. Yep, that's it. What is that?
Passport bros are men that are so fed up with Western women because we're all apparently so woke and so terrible and Western women don't want to be wives that they are now going to other countries to find wives.
Like which countries?
Like Southeast Asia, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic.
So it's like the opposite of the mail order bride.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Okay, so they're, instead of ordering out, instead of using stamps.com.
Yeah, and bringing them here.
Right,
they're like,
they're
we want to get out.
Travelocity.
Yeah. And then all
feels more expensive, but
it is. And so a lot of these men get remote jobs. And so they go there and they live in these countries and then they meet these women. And then women in the Western world, specifically the United States, are so pissed off about it. And they're like, you're going to all these countries where these women don't even know how to speak English. They can't even read. They're so uneducated. And then the men like film themselves with these women and like show themselves on dates. And the women are so elegant and they're so well spoken and they're so traditional. And they're like, look at these women. Yeah, passport bros.
I mean, I did marry a woman from abroad. I mean, she'd been in America since she was 12.
Bubble, and I hate to break your delusion, but these women overseas don't want y'all. They want the Chris Browns. They want the Trey Songz. They want the black men that have money. Let me tell you what y'all do. Y'all pretend to be executives. You pretend like you have money. And so because they only see the majority of black folks on camera, y'all go over there with these fake Louis Vuitton bags and these Jordans and your US dollars, and you go over there and you act.
For a number of years, let me tell you, black men are the only one doing this. Men of all races are doing this. This practice has been going on for so long. It's only the broke black men who out here clout chasing and who think they're really doing some new shit are the ones who are talking about it. I'm gonna tell you what the real lick is. The men who can afford to go over there, put them a wife in a house, keep her over there, and still maintain back in the States. That's the lick. Okay? Like I said, the only reason why this is a trend now is because all the broke boys who couldn't afford it 20, 30, 40 years ago have the money, or they think they have it.
Y'all sick of black women, and y'all sick of our attitudes, and y'all sick of our masculinity, and y'all sick of us having to take care of ourselves. Guess what? We don't give a fuck. Bye. Because we want white men anyway.
What's up? Welcome to the broadcast, everybody, man. It's always good to be in here with you guys. Big shout out to everybody who came through with the super chat. I want to give a super big shout out to the fellas who came in first. Maurice Harris, he said, Uncle D, shout out to you. Much love to you, baby. Much love back at you. Mercer Panama, thank you for the $5 super sticker, baby. I appreciate it. Cerebral Inquirer, Ken Barracuda, one of my favorite yard man. Shout out to the black men making it happen. Praise Samson for all the strength. That's a good one, brother. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We ain't got no cash apps yet, but that's all good, baby. Look, let me tell you something, man. I try to keep up with the young brother Austin Holloman, man, and I talk to him from time to time. And what I like to do is try to have a little fundraiser for him all the time because that's what a good uncle does. But here's the thing, man. I want to well, let me first say this. Look, if you don't know by now, that means you haven't watched me in several weeks. You guys make sure you watch Co-Parenting on Thursday night. I played the clip of what's the upcoming show. I'm going to run it back again so it doesn't get lost in the sauce. This is it. Y'all make sure y'all check it out tomorrow. Remember, it's 100% funded by me. I spent my own $250,000 on this, these 16 episodes that are going to run from that it started last week and going to run all the way through October, man. It makes Black people look good. It's a story of me and my ex-wife and how we get along in trying to raise our two sons together. And then, of course, life happens. Somebody type life happens in the chat room. Things happen. People start dating other people. Other babies come about. So, the thing is, man, the most important thing is it shows Black people in a positive light. Here's the thing. On this broadcast thing that I'm doing, y'all supposed to hate me. All right. I want to be hated. And the reason is because I'm an advocate for Black men. And so unless you're an advocate for Black men, if I'm interfering with your money, if I'm messing with your narrative, you're supposed to hate me. Nevertheless, on the broadcast, Co-Parenting with the Spurlings, I make Black people look good. I make Black men look good. I make my Black ex-wife look good. So what we're doing is we enhancing our visibility, and it's going to be good all around. Take back the image. Take back Thursday nights. This is what you're going to see if you watch it this Thursday coming up, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and, of course, 5 p.m. on Pacific. But y'all check it out. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on
I know you're still going to be on a prowl for like SUV or a van or something, right?
Bentley, GT, Continental, two-door, pewter. Are you sure? She's pregnant.
And those two babies. And anybody who can't get in or fit in needs to get out. Conversations
I know.
okay. Just to keep, we have a great structure.
Stephanie was talking all that stuff about why I shouldn't get the car. And as soon as I get it, now she wants to take it for a spin.
Co-Parenting with the Spurlings.
So yeah, man, it gets interesting real quick, man. It's going to escalate real quick into some real life situations. Nevertheless, y'all make sure y'all check out Co-Parenting with the Spurlings on Thursday. Again, like I said, it's Black owned. And as a matter of fact, it's Uncle D owned. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go beg somebody else for it. So, I'm not the type of person that's going to ask you to do something for me. I'm going to do it. And if you like the product, man, support it. It's going to play live so you guys can contribute money to it live, man. If you feel good about it, if it makes you feel good, if you're tired of seeing all this ratchet stuff and seeing Black people portrayed in the worst light possible, man, just watch the show and donate it to it. You know what I mean? The algorithm will pick it up. People will start knowing. Thank you to all the folks who've helped support me, all the YouTubers who are talking about it, getting it going, man. Because again, at the end of the day, just like my books, it's not about me. It's about you. It's about our story. When I say our story, I'm talking about Black Americans here and right now. You see what I'm saying? So y'all keep that in mind. Again, I just so happen to be the cheapest person I ain't had to pay myself to appear. So I played the Black father. You know what I'm talking about, baby. Anyway, shout out to Volcanus and the Pride Storm. Support Black Male Media. Thank you so much, brother. Y'all make sure y'all watch it Thursday night, man. Watch the repeat. But again, back to the subject matter at hand. Passport Bros, a social movement that led to a cultural shift. If you hang in tonight, you're gonna learn a lot. It's not just gonna be me talking about men traveling overseas. We'll get to that, but I'm gonna explain to you this phenomenon in the context of other social movements. Okay, somebody type cultural shift in the chat room. Somebody type cultural shift in the chat room. Somebody type cultural shift in the chat room. Okay, all right. Now, one of the people who's become prominent on the Passport Bro scene is the good brother Austin Holloman, okay, who is somewhere in Africa right now, man. The brother's in Africa right now. I'm gonna put his Cash App up for him, man. Y'all make sure y'all throw him some money, man. Tell him it's from Uncle D. Y'all, Austin Holloman's Cash App is right there at the bottom, and I'm bootlegging his images because I think this story is just so phenomenal. But just a replay of where this young man has been. Austin Holloman, as you guys remember, he started off in Brazil. We've actually had him on the broadcast. He went to Rio. He went to Salvador Bahia. He went to Sao Paulo, and he went to, I think it's called Recife. Okay. All of these are different cities and locations in Brazil. This young man is how old is Austin? Like 22, 23, a young brother, man. Then he went to Colombia, Medellin. All right. If that wasn't enough, mind you, he's from straight up out of Dallas, Texas. You see what I'm saying? He went from Rio, Salvador, Sao Paulo, Recife, Colombia, Medellin, Thailand, okay, Bangkok, Phuket, Chiang Mai. I hope I pronounced the name right. Pate, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pronounced it's spelled Pattaya, Pattaya. The brothers just, and then now he went to the Philippines, Manila, Ozomis, Cebu. This is one young black man who is traveling the world. And if that wasn't enough, then he went to Vietnam, went to Ho Chi Minh City, Cambodia, Phnom Penh. He went to Tanzania, which is where I really am so happy to see this black man touch down in Africa. He actually did a broadcast with the good brother O'Shea Duke Jackson when he got to Africa, man. But Tanzania, he went to Dar es Salaam. He went to Kenya, Nairobi. I think I saw a picture of him on his little Instagram on like a safari or something in Uganda, Kampala. Okay, these are historic cities in Africa, Rwanda. And the thing is, man, this is inspirational. And a lot of you guys don't know just how inspirational it is. I feel like he is I feel like this is something that's special. Now, as you guys know, I have young boys and they might listen to me, but I really feel like, just like many of you, when they see older men doing things, men who are closer to their age, they have a tendency to respond better. So without further ado, I have a young man here who you all know. Shout out to this young man needs no introduction on this page. Mr. Crimson Sun, welcome, sir. How are you today?
Hello, I am very good today. Hello, everybody on the stream.
All right, if you guys can hear the Crimson Sun, who's done an in-depth study into all Austin Holloman's trips overseas, y'all make sure y'all hit the #1 button if you can hear the Crimson Sun. So, Mr. Crimson Sun, sir, may I call you? Would you prefer to be called Mr. Sun?
I prefer to be Mr. Crimson Sun.
Oh, Mr. Crimson Sun. You better watch it. You better watch. I'm still your daddy. But nevertheless, for the purposes of the broadcast, sir, Mr. Crimson Sun. So you saw a picture of Mr. Holloman. You and Mr. Holloman share something in common. Both of you all are Texans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Proud Texan, Cowboys and stuff.
Proud Texan, and I'm absolutely. I've heard you have a very interesting Texas accent. I've also noticed. But
gosh darn right, I have a good Texas accent.
All righty. So, sir, you've had and Austin Holloman's he's a young man, and you see him on the picture with all the pretty ladies. And then you also saw him on a television show, well, not a television show, but on Fox News, basically being, what are your thoughts on his interview? What are your thoughts on what he was saying?
I think the reporter, he was kind of like trying to make Mr. The guy, he was trying to make him seem like he was doing something bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like regulating.
Okay.
The word.
Oh, okay. So, okay, okay, I get what you're saying. So basically, he was asking him these questions. But to me, when I think Mr. Holloman did a good job. Now, what about all these places he's been? Now, he's been to Brazil. He got in trouble in Brazil. Did you hear about what happened to him in Brazil?
Yeah, I heard like he was purposefully misinterpreted because he said in a video, is it true that Brazil women are easy? And he wasn't saying that as a statement. He was saying it as a question, and he was answering the question in that video.
Okay. Well, that's a fair observation. And you know, I know you know lots about asking questions, and you've made a lot of appearances here. What about the fact that, and of course, I know you studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so you've had great interactions with people from Brazil. I know your professor is Brazilian, and they're nice people from what I can tell based on your interactions, right?
Always pretty happy.
Always happy. Yeah, they are pretty happy all the time. Well, we will say that Brazilians are very happy people. So this young man, not only did he go to Rio, but he also went to Salvador Bahia, Sao Paulo, Recife, all these different places. And then he's gone to Colombia. So you've been to Colombia before. What was your impression of Colombia?
I think it was a beautiful place, and the food was very good there. And they have like nice weather, but it was a little cold because we went to Bogota.
You went to
but
Bogota.
It was still fun and stuff.
So he went to Colombia. I think Austin Holloman is 22 or 23 years old. And so I know you're 13, and to you 23 is probably old, right?
Yeah, that's like 10 years. Old 10 years.
Okay, well, you know, to me, that's really young, you know, and at 23 years old, it seems to me he has to have a lot of courage to travel around the world, you know, and he's not a super rich man. And matter of fact, I got people here at the bottom, and I'm telling them I want them to donate to his Cash App. I hope you're okay with that, because I know how you feel about splitting fees when you're doing, you know, when you're doing your time.
Don't like splitting fees. That's one thing I don't like splitting fees.
I know you don't. I know you. So here's the other thing. He's gone to Colombia, and he went to Thailand. He went to a couple of places, and then he went to the Philippines. And we have a friend of the broadcast, Joan. She comes on every night. He went to Vietnam. He went to Cambodia. Here's the thing. He also went to Tanzania. What do you know about Africa? What are your thoughts about Africa? Give me your thoughts about that, Mr. Crimson Sun.
From what I know about Africa, the weather is beautiful. The places are beautiful. The animals are beautiful, and the women are beautiful. So it seems like a pretty great place to be.
I'm shout out to all Crimson
and the
Sun,
food
man.
also seems good too.
You are one smooth cat. He said the women are beautiful. What women have you seen from Africa, man? What you doing? You on the internet investigating, sir?
I just search up pictures sometimes.
Oh,
not like naughty ones, because I'm a Christian boy. I just search up like pictures.
Oh, you searching up Christian pictures of African women. Oh,
yes,
okay.
Fully clothed.
Yeah. I'm gonna get hold of that phone, man. Well, I'm gonna do a full search on that phone.
You can search my phone because I'm a Christian boy, I don't do nothing.
Praise God. All right. Well, look. I'm gonna let you slide on that. We'll revisit that off the air. But so Tanzania is one place he went to. Kenya, Nairobi. He went there. Uganda, Kampala. If you remember, we went to see the movie with Muhammad Ali when he fought not Joe Frazier. George Foreman. And I believe they fought was that fight in Uganda? I can't remember if the fight was in Uganda or where, but I know they fought in Africa. And so you see how motivated Muhammad Ali was fighting in front of all those black people. How do you think Austin is motivated now, seeing that what he's saying? Because I've seen he looks very happy. He looks like he's happy.
Yeah. I think it's very good to have your own people supporting you, because that's like more of a homie feeling than just like random people across the world.
Wow, that's dope. I like that, man. That's let me explain y'all something. I want you guys to understand something. This is the Crimson Sun's own thoughts. These are not my thoughts. This is what he thinks about, and he's 13. So shout out to my Crimson Sun, Mr. Crimson Sun, who will hopefully come back and do some more movie reviews. Let me ask you one more question. Go ahead, sir, please.
I just said I will be back.
You'll be back? I'll be back. Okay. Now, the other thing is I want to know, so as a young man, as a 13-year-old, and I know you'll be 14 this year, But as a young man, seeing this other young man, Mr. Austin Holloman, traveling around the world, does it make it seem to you like it would be something that would be easy for you to do now? I mean, he's traveled to like 13 different countries, you know?
Now that I'm seeing like that this guy can do this at such a young age, and like he's not like the richest guy in the world, but he's still able to travel around the world and see all these pretty places and eat good food and see the pretty beaches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very inspirational
Mm-hmm.
to see how this guy, who's only like 10 years older than me,
Yeah.
can be doing all of this stuff.
Okay. Are you going to take your brother with you when you go on these trips?
Maybe some of them.
So you don't want to take my other son, my oldest son, with you? Just the Crimson Son is going?
I don't know. If he's willing to pay, he can come. But, you know, I'm not giving out free trips over here.
All right. You're not giving out free trips. Well, thank you so very much, Mr. Crimson Son. Your input is greatly appreciated from the...
You're very welcome.
Okay. You just cut me off, bro. You cut me off.
Sorry.
No, you're not. You did it on purpose. But that's all right. But I want to say thank you to the Crimson Son. We're going to let you go. You probably need to go to sleep. That's what you need to do. But either way,
okay.
Okay, young man. I will see you later. We'll be right back. I'll make sure y'all do it. Sir, I'm trying to speak.
Okay.
Sir.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Now I'm going to talk now. Praise God. See, you keep doing it. Anyway.
I'm just trying to say okay.
Okay. Go be with Jesus.
She that's on the main line. Tell her what you want. Oh, she that's on the main line. Tell her what you want. She that's on the main line. Tell her what you want. Call him up and tell her what you want. Oh, call him up. Tell her what you want. Call him up. Tell her what you want. Call him up. Tell her what you want. Call him up and tell her what you want. Oh, Jesus said if you go, I'll go with you. Open up your eyes and I'll see for you. Lord, if I go, tell me what to say. They won't believe in me. Oh, they won't believe in the Father. They won't believe in the Son. Oh, they won't believe in the Holy Ghost. They won't believe in me.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. So, the Crimson Son has demanded that I put his Cash App at the bottom of the scrolling line there as payment for his appearance here. He is very serious about his proceeds. Nevertheless, I'm going to continue. We want to thank the Crimson Son. If you want to thank the Crimson Son for his input on this new phenomenon called Passport Bros, you guys are welcome to contribute to a super chat. Cash App down there at the bottom. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Nevertheless, we're going to get back to the grown-up business. All right. Somebody put business in the chat room. And what I want to explain to you, and I want to kind of put this in context, is Passport Bros as a social movement that led to a cultural shift. Okay. Passport Bros as a social movement that led to a cultural shift. Now, some of y'all thought I was just going to get up on here and put a bunch of fine women on here, but that wouldn't be me. We could do that all day, but I think it's more important for me to give you context, to give you the bricks and the bats that you need so you can defend yourself, so you can explain yourself. I think that's important. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, first up, I want to say thank you, Matt Lunan. Appreciate your diligence. Thanks, Uncle D. No problem, brother. Thank you. Reno57 said, took a power nap after work today that turned into a deep sleep. Now I'm wide awake. I haven't been able to catch the live video in a while, but I'm here now. Salute, blessings from Chicago. Big shout out to the Shy. Now, here's the thing, family. I want y'all to understand. We're about to go there. Okay, we're about to have to wipe a little sweat off my forehead. The Crimson Son had me in here sweating, baby. All right, I didn't know what he was gonna say. Sometimes you don't know what these young people are gonna say, but nevertheless, shout out to him. And again, like I said, if you want to contribute to a super chat, Cash App, he's right there at the bottom of the line. Cash App, Crimson 989. But here's the thing. What is a social movement? A social movement is a loosely organized effort by a large group of people to achieve a particular goal, typically a social or political one. All right. This may be to carry out social change or to resist or undo one. Okay. It's a type of group action that may involve individuals, organizations, or both. Here, in the context of Passport Bros, what we're looking at is the goal of men to do what? Find better women, to have freedom, to avoid the family law system. Here in the United States, it seems biased against men, right? There's no individual group per se, there's no leader, but there are individuals who together comprise a social movement. Okay, there's no real organizational structure, which is why it's really hard to pin down. They try to put Austin Holloman as the leader, but he's not. He's just a young man on a journey around the world. You see? Now, sociologists distinguish between several types of social movement. They have reform movements, movements advocating changing some norms or laws. What's the norms here? You grow up, you marry some American woman, you have kids, you know, white picket fence, 2.5 kids in a 2-story house, right? Well, here's an example of a social movement, right? Capital punishment versus the right to delete babies. Those are examples of reforms. A reform may be something that wants to change a certain custom or moral norm, such as the condemnation of porn or the proliferation of some sort of religion, or in this case, Passport Bros. Now, the thing is, a social movement has a life cycle. They're created, right? They grow, they achieve successes or failures, and eventually they dissolve and they cease to exist. And when I say cease to exist, they become so much part of the culture that you don't even see it anymore. It's just the norm. Now, social movements occur in both liberal and authoritarian societies. In other words, places where you're free to do whatever you want, and places where it's very strict. These movements are activated by a wish for change in social customs, ethics, values which oppress certain communities. Men in America, men in Western countries, Black men in particular, kind of getting tired of the status quo. Now, the normal definition is that a social movement needs an initiating event. But here in the United States, there's been millions of initiating events: divorce, child support, child custody, women using you for dates, to eat, all the mistreatment that we've had to deal with. And what you see happening is a chain reaction. See, it can be a particular individual event that can begin a chain reaction, or events in a given society leading to the creation of the social movement. Here in this case, Passport Bros. Somebody type Passport Bros in the chat room. The key is the root of this event must result from some common discontent among the community. Are Black men in the Black community happy? Are Black men in the Black community discontent? See, I don't think you would have a Passport Bro movement in 1955 when the vast majority of Black men were married and had kids. There was no discontent as to mating and dating. Even though you had Black men traveling overseas, you had Black men who were in the military, we didn't have this issue. We were still able to mate and have children and get married and those sort of things. So you didn't have this level of discontent. Right now, you got 51% of black men who aren't married. 51%, that's over half, aren't married and don't have children. See, the discontent that you all have here and the way we're able to share it on the internet, it's like a chain that links common people together, people that don't even know each other. Black men all across America, we share the same experiences and feelings of discontent, and some would say oppression, because of the dating market, because of the family law system. There's really there's no organization. You just know when you get to Miami at 11 o'clock in the morning, and by the time you walk over to that flight that's headed to the Dominican Republic, it's packed full of black men. Same thing goes for that flight that's headed down to Colombia, Medellin. There's no organization. You just have widespread discontent. And so the emergence of what seems to be an organized resistance to an unfair condition in black society. And that is what? Black men being treated unfairly. Here's the thing. How do you proceed to something like coalescence? What is that? First, coalescence, well, you figure out what is the common dilemma. Why are we all unhappy, brothers? Are y'all with me? Is this over your head? Let me know. I think you need it. I'm going to get there with you. But I just need you to understand, what is the common dilemma that all men are suffering, specifically black men are dealing with? We're dealing with a society that has empowered black American women to the point that they don't what? They don't need black men. Or at least they have the government to replace you for the things you need. On top of that, you got the family law system, which is unjust to men in general. And black men catching hell too. We lose our children, we lose our lifetime of wealth. And so we've coalesced around that. Now they say there's a third stage. They call it bureaucratization. Bureaucratization. And in the normal context, it's a movement when it's when they become organized and they center around a certain systematic model. This is when all the bugs are worked out, the growing pains. Things become a little bit more formal. People take on special roles and responsibilities. But see, remember, this is a diffuse movement. There's no leadership. So it's probably not going to be any bureaucratization in it unless they try to stop us. And then we'll seek political power. But what you have now is this leading to a cultural shift. Somebody type cultural shift in the chat room. Somebody type cultural shift in the chat room. Somebody type social movement, cultural shift in the chat room. And this is where the passport bros sort of hops from being a social movement to a cultural shift. See, a cultural shift doesn't result from a specific event. It derives from an experience of encountering new ways. It derives from a condition. And what is the condition of black men in the United States right now, as far as family? Pretty much the same.
And it doesn't matter how much money you make or your education level. It's the experience that we've encountered. You guys want to be in relationships. You find it nearly impossible to be in relationships with American women, specifically Black American women or any other American women. So you're finding another way to deal with that problem. What does culture do? Your culture helps answer questions that need to be solved so that your progeny can live on into the next generation. So what do? We decided, since 51% of us aren't married, many men who get married are getting divorced, we need a cultural shift. We're putting our wrenches and our socket wrenches and our vice grips on this culture, and we're tuning it up, we're changing it. You got to shift. Here's an example of a cultural change. The development of the mobile phone. It led to a change in norms. You don't have to call somebody and say, I'll be in there in 15 minutes. You can do that. But now all you got to do is pull up in front of our house, building, whatever, push a few buttons. Hey, I'm downstairs. Your conversations are no longer limited to homes and offices and phone booths. Most of y'all don't know what that is. Now, here's the thing. With any cultural change, there's going to be growing pains. Somebody type growing pains in the chat room. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Like with the case with cell phones. Somebody's got a cell phone and the flight is about to take off. Somebody's got a cell phone and they're playing music too loud. That's irritating in a social context. So what happens when you have cultural shift? The culture has to adopt customs, laws, dress, hell, even architectural style. You guys who've moved women overseas into your houses. Look, I can speak for myself. I went from a nice granite home that was filled up with steel and metal to a house that looks like an Afro-Latina lives here with flowery stuff everywhere. I'm just saying. Even I dress a little different. You see? Social standards will change. See that Black empowerment, that blackity black thing? Shout out to my girl, I'm About Brazil. Love your stuff about Brazil. You guys don't know her? You need to know her. I'm gonna make her I'm gonna make you a mod so I can get you back here more. I'm gonna stop the broadcast to make you a moderator. And big shout out to the Wrench Mob. I don't think I gave a shout out to the Wrench Mob, man. I missed that. I had to get the Crimson Sun in here and get him out of here so he can go make his bedtime. The Crimson Sun, praise God, in here and get him out of here so he can go make his bedtime. The Crimson Sun, praise God, in here and get him out of here. So he can About Brazil, welcome to the mod squad. Welcome to the moderator. I think Joan already has her wrench. Let me make sure Joan has her wrench too. These are two of my favorite ladies who always come to my broadcast. And it's a big shout out to you, both of y'all. But anyway, and I appreciate you ladies standing up for your country and your countrymen. We need that sort of example of courage. But anyway, so now we're going to come back in here and we're going to talk about the growing pains. Okay? And we're going to talk about what we've seen so far. Now, y'all make sure y'all hit the #1 button, but in the meantime, we'll give y'all some good church music. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Welcome back. Anyway, so look, so here's the thing. So what we're talking about tonight, we're talking about passport bros from the perspective of what it is. It is a phenomenon. It is a cultural shift. It is a social movement, and it's not something that's going to go away. You guys heard those ladies early on. They laughed at you. They told you that these women overseas don't want you. They told you all this different stuff, right? None of it played out to be true. Shout out to Cerebral Inquirer, Ken Barracuda. I'm unhappy because we must replace them. It hurts. Shout out to you. Shout out to my man Norman Blithers. Big shout out to you. Thank you so much, brother. But look, let's just roll with me for a minute, right? Now they're taking you seriously. They laughed at you at first. Now they're taking you seriously. They're ridiculing you. Okay? Okay? They told you that those women don't want you overseas. They told you their families won't accept you. Here's the truth. It doesn't matter if you're from another culture as long as you make their daughters happy. As long as you're a good man to her, they don't care. Keep that in mind. What would you do as a father? You got a bunch of low-life locals around here that treat your daughter like they're crap. Or you got this guy who comes over and treasures your daughter and treats her well and is respectful to your family. And hell, here's the thing. You got the in-laws to like you. That's an achievement right up there with high-fiving God. Praise Moses. Before 2022, the whole world had never even heard the term passport bros. At best, guys who traveled overseas, you know what they call them? LBH. Somebody type LBH in the chat room. And you still hear it, LBH. What does LBH mean? Huh? Or something like it, LBH. Losers back home. Because you're the guy that needs to travel abroad because no one wants him locally. However, things have changed. That stigma is evaporating. You got some very successful men of all ethnicities, specifically black men, traveling overseas with their money and their bank accounts and their gym muscles. You got some fat dudes too, but you got some great guys traveling overseas. So here's the thing. However people want to classify the passport bro movement to help themselves sleep at night, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because black American men are finding what they want. And that's a great thing. Now, what are they finding? Let's break it down. Because we're talking about growing pains and new experiences. Somebody type growing pains in the chat room. They're finding that the cost of living in those countries is really inexpensive. Where the Philippines at? Where's Thailand? Now, don't get it twisted. No matter where you are, no matter where you're looking, women and families cost money. But the currency exchange rate for Western men is a big help. If you got a retirement fund or you can work remotely, you're set. There's no need for you to even come back to the United States. If you meet a foreign woman in a place like the Philippines or Thailand or Medellin or Vietnam, who knows how to handle money, that money you earn, your retirement, that money you saved up, that'll keep you alive for your entire life without having to work another day. And that's maybe $200,000. You can live your entire life without having to make another day, work another day. You can build a lot of business, invest money potentially with that amount. The difference is real. Some of you say what? What do we talk about? Growing pains. Learning another language. We talked about the family. Treat their daughters well. Treat their daughters well. The stigma of being a loser back home is going away. The cost of living. It's not a problem. Growing pains. That's what we're talking about tonight. This is what you can expect. Now, what do I say about learning another language? It becomes increasingly easier when you're living with it constantly. You having to use it to learn it. I tell you guys all the time, arguing with my Dominican girlfriend at the time, in the 3 years we dated, for the first year, she would beat me in every argument because she'd get her words out quicker. But you know, me being who I am, I'm not going to take that L. So I learned to speak Spanish so well that I even began to write songs in Spanish. I began to think in Spanish. And that comes from constantly living with it. Now, the good thing is, you don't even need to learn a new language, because most people speak English or multiple languages. So you're good with that. Now, what about these American women who are complaining now? The same ones that, yeah. I love the audacity of these Western women. They hate men for picking up and leaving to find love. Women who never gave them a chance. But they hate the idea of you leaving. So we're just supposed to stay alone and be miserable? Where the brothers at? Where the brothers at? No, we're not going to marry you. We're just going to have your kids and hit you up for child support. But you're not allowed to go somewhere else and get married. This is what black men are dealing with. Black women say they want to get married, but they don't. Hell, white women say they want to get married, but they get divorced. To the tune of 70% initiated by women. Take your children, take your assets. Same outcome. Men are alone and broke. The only way to win the game is not to play. Isn't that what they say? But in the same breath, these lovely ladies bash the women in other countries, calling them uneducated, when most of them have better sense, more common sense, and emotional intelligence than most of these modern Western women today. The truth is, American women have become too complicated. They're trying to serve too many masters. They don't know if they want to be wives or whores. And as we know, you cannot turn a whore into a housewife. There's nothing you can do about it. Body count's too high. Now, the truth is, fellas, most of you guys, you find so much comfort in America that you will never leave. That's why we got 51% of black men who are single and childless. The problem that you're finding, and the reason why you're single and childless, is because social media and marketing and the current society that we live in has turned a lot of women into just toxic individuals that nobody wants to be around. Marrying an American woman, odds are you're setting yourself up for a nasty divorce. Yeah. Most of you guys, you retired, you worked hard, and you went through a terrible divorce, or both. Or you became fed up with working so hard for people who don't appreciate you. And I'm talking about even your kids. And that's why you retire and move to places like the Philippines to start a new life. So you can see what being happily married feels like. So you can have a family where you can get respect. Now, there are going to be growing pains with all this. This is the phenomenon. This is what's happening. Because there's a need. And because there'll be growing pains, new social rules and interactions will need to be established. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Y'all do what you got to do. I know you know what you got to do. Hey.
Oh, if she got her nipples pierced, got ass from here to here, then you know that she's a hoe. If she's on Instagram, her bio is an OnlyFans, she's out there selling that thing. See, I know you gon' trip, finding out that your chick in Vegas drunk on the strip with no panties on. I know that you gon' say that your chick ain't that way. Miami, DR, Dubai, but you didn't go. Nigga, she's a hoe, hoe, hoe. And I think it's time, you know. Nigga, she's a hoe, hoe, hoe. And I think it's time, you know.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Always good to be here with you guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit the #1 button. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the Cash App. We got my man, Mr. Lawrence, 7777. Thank you. Tony, thank you. Hezekiah Coleman, thank you. Mr. Lawrence, again, thank you. And of course, Ashton Mulkey, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I want to give a shout out to everybody who is over in the super chat section. Who we got over here, man? Quiet Storm, one of my favorite songs, Todos los Cosas. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I learned to speak Spanish arguing with my Dominican girlfriend. I did not speak Spanish before. I took the classes, but I didn't speak Spanish. You know, middle school classes, like, yeah, A, B, C, D, E, J, K. You know what I'm talking about. Couldn't speak a lick of Spanish until I immersed myself in the culture. Okay? But see, now we're going to keep it real. Uncle D is going to keep it real with you. I'm not going to lie to you. So we're going to talk about the growing pains. A lot of you guys go over there wide-eyed and bushy-tailed to these foreign countries, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Brazil, Philippines, wherever. Okay? And unfortunately, you may run it. Hell, you might be on the app swiping left and swiping right. And you may run into a retired sex worker. Or she may retire when she meets you. She don't want to come back to the United States. That's not what it's about. She sees a passport bro as a target to have a family and remake their future. The truth is, it's happened. It's, guys, I'm sure it's conceivable. It's happened. Where's the lie? Am I lying? These women will act innocent. And the bros will think that her body count is like 3. And it's like 300. You think she's traditional wife material? Can you live with that? Because how would you ever know? But here's the cold part about it. Because, this is a growing pain. This is something, and that's why I say we're going to have to establish some social rules and interactions. Now, the thing is, you could marry a whore right here in the United States. It just depends on what you think a whore is. Is it a woman with more than 5 men? More than 2? Or what about more than 25? All of these women think they're wife material. But at least here we know where to categorize them. So that's something you got to think about. This is what we're going to deal with. The more men who are traveling overseas, the more likely that this is going to happen. Many men say bringing her back, bringing your foreign woman back is an absolute no-no. That's what they tell you. Now, why do they say that? Because it's only a matter of time before that woman gets her social media legs, meets some new American women friends, and then she gets told she's oppressed. Somebody type oppressed in the chat room. She's oppressed. She embraces the culture, the same toxic culture that you tried to escape from. And then she starts acting like the same women you left to get away from. I've actually seen it happen to a few military guys. They brought a woman home. They were seeing her. They thought they loved her. They thought she loved them. But what you got to understand, fellas, here's some game. Remember Uncle D told you, listen. Women are a lot more malleable and agreeable when it comes to other women's influence. What does that mean? They're herd creatures. That's why they like to go to the bathroom together. Girl, what you got on? You can tell her she looks good, but she doesn't believe it till these other women say, girl, where'd you get that from? They're easily influenced by other women. They naturally lean towards following the lead of other women. That's why the market caters to women by doing what? They put female advertisers out there. You don't believe me? Kim Kardashian has influenced a whole nation of young girls to become gold diggers and whores. It wasn't like that before she popped up. And so that's why men are saying never bring them back to the matrix. It's better to reside outside. Now, let me tell you something else. You Western men, somebody type women are women. Women are women. A lot of you Western men think East Asian women or Latino women, you think they're naive because they're from a quote unquote third world, according to you. If you're that arrogant and you think you're going to pick up some poor third world woman and take advantage of her, or she's not using that head of hers, think again. Most women can run circles around most men. Let me say that again. Most women can run circles around most men because their emotional intelligence is sky high. I heard a story about a guy, he married this woman, made her a wife. This guy thought, I got me one. She made him feel like a king. East Asian woman. He gave her his credit card to go to the bank, get some groceries. She emptied out his checking account, never seen him again. He was an older white man. And he thought this Asian woman would be grateful just to have him. And she should be appreciative because he had enough money to buy a young, attractive woman, and he chose her. He thought he was doing her a favor. Nevertheless, women are women. Now, I want to get to the lasting effects of this cultural shift and this social movement on Black America. What's the long-lasting effect? Well, it's obviously going to speed up the admixture of what we call foundational Black Americans. If you go and get a Filipino woman, and you bring her back here, you over there, clearly your children are mixed. Clearly they're not going to look like foundational Black American kids typically. Hell, if you go to Africa and you get your woman from Uganda or Tanzania, they're African again. Now, what else is it going to do? Shout out to Death Before Dishonor. Again, we talking about growing pains. These are things you're going to have to deal with. The admixture. So you're going to look up and it's like, man, what happened to all the Black folks? The social dynamic that exists between Black men and Black women is going to change. The power dynamic. Because it presents Black men with an option that Black women don't have as a whole. What do I mean? There's a couple of Black women who can travel overseas and consistently get men to want to date and marry them, maybe certain caliber of women with a certain look, but that's not something that's open to every Black woman in America. But I tell you this, if you're a Black man, I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how much you weigh. I don't care what you look like. There's a woman in one of these countries that'll marry you. Because I hate to say it, but the guys over there are pretty ugly. You got some of the ugliest guys, especially Colombia. They got the most beautiful women and some of the ugliest, shortest guys. No disrespect to my Colombian folks, man, but I'm just saying. And those women love those men like they are superstars. So it's not about looks. On the flip side, Black American women, you got to compete with Colombian women and Brazilian women. On the whole, you got a weight problem. You don't stand a chance. You don't stand the Ice Cube's chance in hell. So what does that mean? That as far as the renegotiation of the social contract, Black men have the advantage at the bargaining table, an advantage that Black women had prior to this social movement called Passport Bros. It was the government backing Black women, so they didn't need the things and the resources that Black men offered, and therefore they had the advantage. And that whole thing is flipped. So what are going to be the lasting effects of this social movement called Passport Bros? Those are a couple. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to do this because y'all like tonight. Y'all like tonight. I just want y'all to know. Y'all are very light tonight. Praise God. And I did a great job. If I do say so myself, I know nobody else has brought this to you all like this. Praise God. Not one person has broke Passport Bros down like this. And so I think y'all need Jesus. I think that y'all have forgot that you need to pay me for my time. And so you need Jesus. And until Jesus calls me back to this broadcast, which I'm assuming is going to be 15 super chats from now, y'all going to go ahead and be with Jesus. Hallelujah. Y'all got to pay me for my time. I'm not coming back in here till you do. You like tonight. The collection plate is being passed around, and y'all need to pay Uncle D for his time. I need another 10 super chats, and I'll be back. Praise God. I'm opening up the chat room and let y'all come on in, but y'all need to pay me for my time and get them likes up. Maybe I need to change it up a little bit. I need 8 more super chats. Let me give y'all some of this.
Under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus cover me under the blood. Under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus, you may cover me under the blood. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood of Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me, I go break up. Put the blood on me face just like a makeup. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood of Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me heart break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. Under the blood, under the blood, Jesus cover me. Jesus, you will cover me. Under the blood, me say me.
Close, you're getting close. I need 5 more super chats and I'll be back. Come on, you're close. You're not there yet. All right. I almost got there. Y'all got 2 more super chats, but that's okay. I have faith. Hallelujah. I have faith that y'all going to get me to them 2 super chats before I finish reading off the shout outs. You understand what I'm talking about, baby? So let's go to the shout outs. Jerome Payne, thank you so much, man. Some great DJ. Hope you and your family are well, sir. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. Death before the dishonor, freezer bag fun. Oh my goodness, you guys are funny. Too much moxie, great topic. Thank you, sir. Simple Shit TV, always good to see the young brother up in here. He says, support black male media. I am. Y'all make sure, look, somebody type co-parenting with the Spurlings in the chat room. Take Back Thursdays in the chat room. Hashtag Take Back Thursdays so people will be reminded to check it out on Thursday. AWS 21st, 149. Thank you for the super sticker. My man, Jamal Smith. Rock and roll. No comment, just love and respect. That's what I'm talking about. Love, yeah. Wow. When I was a young boy, man, my Uncle Robert used to listen. For those of you guys who read my book, Uncle Bob, he used to have these blues tapes, man. So I'm in the back seat, like 8, 9 years old. Yeah, wow. And something that that you guys don't know. Y'all know my grandmother's name is Elmira King, right? And she was from Casilla, Mississippi. She is the cousin of B.B. King, the late great blues singer. So I'm like, man, I'm related to B.B. King. That's dope, and I get it. The music is in the blood, baby, And so, I don't know. It's just some things you just can't get away with. A lot of our musicians, Snoop Dogg and some of those people, they all come from that Clarksdale, Mississippi. Shout out to all my Mississippi homeboys, man. All my Mississippi folks, man. We don't get to Mississippi that much, but a lot of us who came from that area, we all related, man. It's a trip. How close we are related, man. Y'all need to open up that ancestry.com account, man. You'll be amazed at the people you related to, man. But yeah, so I'm related to B.B. King through my grandmother. I just thought that was pretty dope, man. That's what's up, man. So it's in my blood. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, baby. I like saying the blues, baby. I talk about it all goddamn day. Shit. Anyway, shout out to Jamal Smith. Thank you so much, bro. That brother said, this is deep. We're in here agreeing, talking, taking notes. Excellent context perspective. Thank you so much, brother. I try to give you these bricks and bats to help you build that intellect. Conversations you can have 20 years from now. It's like, yeah, I remember when the Passport Bros first popped off. It was a young boy named Austin Holloman. He just traveled around the world, and that just kind of set it off. You know what I mean? It just became the thing people did, you know? G Money says, stay covered under the blood, Uncle D. I will, brother. Thank you so much. Randy Irvin, thank you for the super sticker. Richard Freeman, $4.99. Thank you, brother. Chippy Chap. I like that name. $5. Thank you so much. Mark, the freelancer. Praise God. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. He sure will. Brandon Jackson, $2.99 for the super sticker. Damon Jerry, $5. And BX, brother. Is that the Bronx? Yo, the BX. Shout out to the Bronx. Why am I New York? Why y'all so aggressive, man? Why y'all so damn aggressive? Yeah, I'm from the BX. Like, sir, you don't have to say it that aggressively to me, sir. Just state that you're from New York. You don't have to. Y'all just really, where you from? Brooklyn. Okay, it's like a cuss word. Like, where you from? I'm from. Okay, sir. Just calm down a little bit. Shout out to all the New Yorkers up here. Bougie 20. Thank you for the $20. Michael Roberts, you keep it 100. Y'all keep it 100, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll tell you the same things. Tell my children. That's how I would do. My man DJ 5Y says, so to Uncle D for shipping out the rules. Yeah, I shipped out all the books, man. Everybody who bought my book, I got some left. If you want to buy my books, I'm telling you, a lot of the conversations I'm having, I can help you save a lot of money in a divorce. I'm gonna tell you things and stories that you can pick up and listen to. I can help you do a divorce like a boss before you even hit the lawyer, so you can kind of have an idea of what's going on and how it's going to be played out. Your family law lawyer is never going to tell you that, but you can read a lot about my divorce. Go to spurlingdennis@gmail.com. Send me an email. Order all 3 copies of the books. You can learn a lot. It help you out tremendously. But nevertheless, thank you so much for that, DJ Wi-Fi. Cerebral Inquiry, co-parent with the Spurling, taking back parenting. Praise God. Take Back Thursdays. Big, tall, young, attractive Dennis doing the high IQ observations. Salutations from the Black Pill family. That's what's up. We are the proteges of Face and LMS. Yeah, man. Who else we got to be? AJ, thank you for the $20. Nevertheless, look, it's time to go ahead and open up the chat room. My man Umi Yidua, salute Uncle D, considering becoming a passport boy more and more. When I talk to those sisters, they proud of being big girl. I know, right? Big wide backs. Somebody type wide backs in the chat room. What you proud of? All these Lizzos. Where's Deacon Salty Balls at? We need a good Lizzo reference. I need a good Deacon to come up in here, man, and give us that Lizzo reference. You know what I mean? We need a whole and a half of Lizzo up. And these big girls, they swept down. You just supposed to take them as they are. But yeah, man, but you don't have to do that anymore because, again, there's a social movement, there's a cultural shift. And so because of that, you can push away from the table. There was a time when we were stuck with these lovely ladies as they are, and they knew it. They had the advantage in the negotiation, but that's gone. He said, when I talk to these sisters, they're proud of being big girls and still think they're entitled to the soft life. Ain't that something? Yeah, don't get them wide backs to soft life. Put them out there and put them out there in that damn track and field. Let them run about 3 or 4 miles a day. Praise God. My man Jamal Fowler said, checking in from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Keep up the great work. I shall, brother. I shall. Nevertheless, what we're going to do at this point, we are going to open up the chat room, and I'm also going to play a video from one of my videos. It's called Moving On. And family, fellas, this one is particular for you guys. If you listen to the lyrics, it's from the Don Juan Carlos El Patron album. And, my stage name is D. Damon. Don Juan Carlos El Patron. I went from Rules to Live By to Don Juan Carlos. This is my finishing location. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave the rap in there, all the rest of you guys, man. But check this song out, and I'm gonna open up the link. I'm gonna put it in the chat room. You guys want to come in and chop it up with me about this Passport Bros as a social movement that led to cultural shift. Come on and do it, man. Let's have this exciting intellectual conversation. I'll see you in a minute.
Moving on away from you. Moving on away from you. I'm moving on away from you. Moving on away from you. Preaching from a beach seat beneath the tree. They next to me had a few too many drinks. Sauce loose and lucid. They should see the CZ scene was locked down in conflict. Now we free. They teach us all about the Benjis. He never truly believed. He received the message like breeze blowing them leaves. That means he felt what they mean and he liked the bling. Even then he knew that's not all his life would be. So he achieved and life became a breeze. A rich dude legacy. Question, is that all I'll be? There's nothing more. Surely before I pass this door home and gone, I'll prove these hustlers wrong. I'm moving on away from you. Moving on away from you. I'm moving on away from you. Moving on away from you. Bentley parked on the boulevard, Wraith on the way, but they asked him to pay for that ghost and scam away. Got that Rolls Royce money, that millionaire toy money. He don't even drive them cars, just ride when it's sunny. His sons like him, they like stunning, but it's been day 400 since he talked to his mama. Too much childhood drama, child with too much to ponder. An adolescent mind wonder, was a rude dude with it, grew up and got cool with it. Now we through with it, could speak for a week on it. Got grown, passed on it, dude still high as hash on it. They let their life pass on it, I say let it go, homie, lost son, you owe it to you. Too much time to lose. I'm moving on away from you. Moving on away from you. I'm moving on away from you. Moving on away from you. So many lost sons sons trying to find their fathers, trying to find their young ones. Both sons and daughters, no need for repeat. Ain't trying to compete, he forgave everybody involved in the name of peace. Tried to stay and keep it G, decided it's better to flee. They want to see how he living, somewhere by the beach. Took back what was stolen, now he's where he should be. Lost son legacy, homie, book 1 through 3. Rules to live by, how to find happiness and peace. Not easy as he making it seem. You see, happiness, joy, and love, peace. Money alone won't reach, fight every day to maintain peace. I'm moving on away from you. Moving on away from you. I'm moving on away from you. Moving on away from you.
Rules to live by. Volume 6, Lost Son.
Passport bros?
What is a passport?
Okay, passport bros are men that are so fed up with Western women because we're all apparently so woke and so terrible and Western women don't want to be wives that they are now going to other countries to find wives.
Like which countries?
Like Southeast Asia, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic.
So it's like the opposite of the mail order bride.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Okay, so they're,
Yes.
instead of ordering out, instead of using stamps.com.
Yeah, and bringing them here,
right,
they're like,
they're
we want to
using
get out.
Travelocity.
Yeah. And then all
Feels more expensive, but
It is. And so a lot of these men get remote jobs. And so they go there and they live in these countries and then they meet these women. And then women in the Western world, specifically the United States, are so pissed off about it. And they're like, you're going to all these countries where these women don't even know how to speak English. They can't even read. They're so uneducated. And then the men like film themselves with these women and like show themselves on dates. And the women are so elegant and they're so well spoken and they're so traditional. And they're like, look at these women. Yeah, passport bros.
I mean, I did marry a woman from abroad. I mean, she'd been in America since she was 12, but still, she's Israeli.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You're like a reverse.
Hi, welcome back to the Passport Bro Conversation of Month. Big shout out to everybody, man. Thank you so much. We got a couple of fellas in the chat room. I see one of my Jamaican yard man in here, man. What's up, bro? Ken Barracuda. Anybody else who wants to come in. Let's chop it up. The other thing is, if you like the music, and the name of that song was called "Moving On," it's on the Don Juan Carlos El Patron album. You can check it out. I put the link to Esquire Entertainment at the top. All you got to do is click on that, man. I got all the videos right there. Some of the videos from my man Big Bass DJ is on there, man. So y'all check all those videos out. And just there for your consumption. If you type DAMONN on anybody's internet anywhere around the world, my entire music catalog will pop up. Y'all surprised, huh? Well, I told you that it's in the blood, baby. My grandma's cousin was BB King. You know what I'm saying? But this is what you see as a free black man. You see me being free. Just because I'm a lawyer, that don't mean I can't be a songwriter, a rapper, a artist, a television show executive. I can do whatever I want to do. That's what happens when freedom pops in your life, man. You're free. You're not inhibited by what these people say. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and bring my man up in here. King Barracuda, man. You're a lone soldier tonight, man. What's up, young brother? How you doing today?
I'm back and forth because there was one super chat I sent that, the thought of having to replace and then replacing, then that might not work, but it's still the fact that it's being done and there's no stopping it.
Mm-hmm.
And like your dear friend Kevin tried to say, we'll help these broads save themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I still catch myself doing that because we love them at the end of the day, but it's like, I gotta be prepared to step over the dead bodies. So I'm battling myself right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, not everybody's gonna make it, but you have to save yourself. You can't. It's hard enough to save yourself. You can't save everybody, man. You have you have an obligation to your ancestors to make sure you're all right and that you reproduce and that you have children and grandchildren so that your progeny go on. So don't feel guilty about it. And you wouldn't be human. You would not be human if you didn't feel that compassion. And that's what makes Black men great. Somebody type Black men great in the chat room. You guys are some of the most compassionate, loving men who've ever existed on this planet. And it is because of that that the Most High just keeps on blessing us. Nevertheless, big shout out to Alvin Holden. I see the background is different, man. What's going on? Alvin is doing big things over there. I see you. But anyway, man, welcome. What do you think about the Passport Bros? And what I've tried to do tonight is put it in context. What is this thing? It's not just some guys with some passports. We're looking at an entire movement. There was a young lady who came on the internet and said, I'm in Medellin. And the plane was filled up. This a 737, which probably fits nearly 300 people. It was filled up with Black men. That's not a one-off. That's a movement, because that same scene is replicated every day in every airport where Black men are around America. So it's not just a one-off. It's a movement. It's a cultural shift that is answering the question of how do we find fit feminine women who are fit to reproduce our children and have wives. That's what I saw, Alvin. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. We've kind of been touching on it. I think slowly but surely it was already happening. It just nobody knew, right? We had slid away from the table, I think, collectively as a group, I think is what was happening. And some of us being good problem solvers, oh, you know what? This is a good idea. Let me go over here. But then now what's happening is that there's a lot of brothers that have slid away from the table, not realizing that this is an option. And now they're like, oh, this is within reach. I can do this. I'm one quick application away from booking a ticket and being out of here, and I think that I love the effect that it's having on brothers. I like that, people being proud to. Now, we were talking about it the other day on the channel. It's not just getting the passport, but it's getting the stamps. You always get like this great feeling seeing the different countries getting stamped on your thing. So, you want to fill your passport up. You want to, because you kind of feel like a chump when you only got like one or two stamps on there. So you got to.
Depends if it's a good place. If you just got one and stayed, you might be good. You might be beating everybody.
You could, yeah.
But here's the thing. I want to, because see. There's a difference between, people say, oh, there have always been passport bros. Men have been traveling overseas. But those men often had wives in their home countries. See, those men often have wives that they can marry in their country. The military guys who went overseas in World War I, World War II, the brothers, some of them stayed in France and Germany. The vast majority of them came back because they would come back to women who wanted to marry them and wanted to have their children. So that's the difference. See, as we look at what is culture, and we ask ourselves, what is culture? What does culture do? What did Dr. Amos? We talked about. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember. I brought Dr. Amos's lecture here, and culture is your programming. It's your computer programming in a group of individuals' minds that allows for their behavior and their actions and their ways and manners in which they worship and the food they eat. Culture is designed to get you to the next generation. So what happens when a group of men say the culture that we have is not going to get us to the next generation? You got 51% of Black men who don't have children and aren't married. So clearly that's not, and if you get past 40, it's very unlikely. The likelihood of you getting married drops significantly. And I'm talking about Dr. Amos Wilson. So what do we have to do? We need an answer to fix that. We need to put a wrench on this culture that we have that's broken and fix it. And Passport Bros pops up. That's the difference between what's going on in the 1940s when brothers were going overseas and what's going on now nearly 80 years later. There's ain't no women out there for us that we want to marry. So what are your thoughts on that? And the floor is open, guys. I just wanted to throw that red meat out there and see what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think we're problem solvers, you know, and I think inherently we want to survive. we want to pass on our lineage. And for those of us that are, you know, can see the writing on the wall, like something bad doesn't have to happen to me. I can learn from someone else's mistakes. And I've seen lots of brothers make some mistakes. And so for me, I wouldn't walk myself into a stereotypical American or Western marriage right now and have children with any of these wide backs, lovely ladies. But, you know, but realizing that there is a viable option not very far away, you know, within reach is definitely a positive thing for sure.
Speaking of which, a young man says, salute Uncle D, considering becoming a passport bro more and more when I talk to these sisters. They're proud of being big girls. Okay, I read that one, my bad. Jamal Fowler checking in from Winston, North Carolina. Keep up the great work. My man, Aquaman TV, went to DR the first time last month for a week. Felt appreciated, not tolerated. I post a short video called Beauty in Dominican Republic. Hey, look, I'm telling you, you're never the same once you go. I literally had to lie to myself for years and say, no, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. I literally, when I went to Brazil for the first time, I just met my now ex-wife. God bless her. Wonderful woman. Love that lovely, first lovely lady of all. Amen. So I had to lie to myself and say, no, this is not real. This is not real. So I lied to myself for years saying that wasn't real. That's not real. What I have here is real. The wife coming home and the arguing and the fussing, that's real. That wasn't real. And, you know, I had to come to the realization it was real. Once I really got down there and immersed myself in the culture of the Dominican Republic, because initially I went to Brazil, and then I'm like, it is real. And that's when I said, well, let me just get a villa, an apartment, and just stay here. It's real. Shout out to my man, Aquaman TV. Death Before Dishonor. Salute to Jamal Smith. Thank you so much. Too Much Moxie. That's a hell of a name, brother. That's a strong title. You got to carry, player. Too much?
Yeah, how you doing? Can you hear me?
All right, bro. What would you like to add to this conversation, man?
I was gonna say, man, always, man, great topic, man. I'll still have to go back and watch your last night show, man, about the traders, man, because you know, once again, you're right on point. Once again, you're speaking the truth. You're speaking what black men have been saying and have been feeling. And I'm a passport bro. You know, I've been traveling since 2018. I married an African woman from Kenya. I traveled back there 3 months out the year. I'm working on getting a remote job myself so I can move out that way. I realize the culture is, you can't marry the same woman that anybody else can have.
Ooh.
You just can't do that. There's no reward in that. There's no feel good. You can't just marry a woman that you know you're going to be taking care of someone else's kids all the time to look forward to. It comes to a point where you're like, man, I want to be my own person. I want to start my own legacy. I want to be with a woman that really cares about me.
What the brother is saying, for you all who are hard of hearing, you're not worthy. You ladies don't understand. The reason that brothers are willing to leave, because we don't count you as worthy. Even though you think you're worthy, even though you think you have value, at the point where you have multiple children and multiple bodies, we don't see you as worthy. And we're the ones who count. So it doesn't matter what these simps are telling you. It doesn't matter what these dudes with PhDs are telling you. We're the only ones that count. Let me just be honest, we don't even really respect them. You see what I mean? They would be nobodies unless they could say I'm Dr. Such and such. We still kind of impressed by that.
Come on now.
But enough of us have education and we've been in enough classrooms and we realize this dumb motherfucker don't know what he's talking about anyway. So I'm just gonna get this grade and move on. You got a PhD in theology. I can read the Bible myself. You see what I'm saying? Let me just keep it 100. So that whole above reproach attitude that we had towards preachers and the educated, it's not difficult to be the talented 10th these days. You see, it's like back during Roman Catholic, when the Roman Church, they kept the Bible tied up, chained up in the basement of the church, and it was written in Latin, so everybody couldn't read it. So God said whatever they said, God said. Matter of fact, one Pope said, the Lord God no longer reigns. He has bequeathed all power to me. These are the type of people, this is the attitude, but we don't feel that way anymore. We cool on it. And then on top of that, what you're telling us, what you're telling us that we see doesn't mesh with what we see with our own eyes. You see, you're telling us it's our fault. We're like, no, it's not our fault. You telling me it's my fault that this woman got knocked up by a dude that I told her don't mess with, or everybody told her don't mess? How is that my fault? It would be my fault if I told her don't do it. Hell, it ain't my fault. It just is, blame the parents. Anyway, thank you so much, Too Much Moxie. Let's get my man Tony in here. Tony, what's happening, brother? Talk to me, man.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
listen, man. First and foremost, I want to give you your flowers right now, man. Like, I'm a big fan of yours. Ever since I saw like you a straight up real black father, being a black father, that's the first thing that resonated with me because I was raised with both my parents. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm about 34 years old. I recently got my blue book back in February. Went to Brazil 2 months ago. Had a good time. Went down there for 2 weeks. Saw that even in Brazil, even though it's still technically a Western country and feminism is approaching in there, it still has that feel. It's got that traditional feel in some spaces.
Yeah.
And right now I'm basically like saving up my PTO so I can go to Japan next year. And my whole thing is growing up because I'm from Baltimore City, right?
Yes, sir.
And everything regarding the stereotypical crash crew, ratchet, lovely lady behavior that's permeated.
I done heard about your city. Praise God.
It's the worst. It's the worst. I'm telling you, it's terrible. I grew up with that. It was like that as far back as the 80s. I'm telling you, we had this saying because of the redlining and the housing covenants that caused poor buildings standards that has lead in the water system. Anytime somebody says something dumb, we say, oh, you must got lead or something.
Oh my God.
And the baby pool here has lead in it nationwide.
Brother, here's the thing, man. You deserve better. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care what anybody tells you. Look, let me. So my stepdad, man, my biological mother's husband, who married her when I was about 15 to 16. He looked like Mike Tyson. He had a gold tooth. He was from Pensacola, Florida. Loved the man. Some of you guys read the story of I was working on my Volkswagen Bug and the motherfucker fell on me. So I'm up under this Volkswagen Bug and the whole bug, this end of the car fell on me. So I'm sitting there in the driveway with a car sitting on my chest. You understand?
Ooh.
I'm about 17 years old, man. Jerome comes out there, picks the car up off me, and I squirm about it. This is the type of black man he was. You see what I mean? About 5'11", about 245 pounds. He could like bench press 400 pounds like it wasn't nothing. Built like that. And he had that sort of mentality. You see what I mean? I love him to death, man. He and I were like friends. He once told me something that really stuck with me, man. He said, you don't take an ass whooping from nobody. Even if you did wrong, you still don't take an ass whooping. You could have did it. It could be your 100% fault. You still don't take an ass whooping. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You understand what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah, I stole your shit. What you gonna do? I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna fight you. You still don't take an ass whooping. So now you done stole their shit and whooped their ass. Damn. You don't take no ass whoopings. I don't care if the black community is in the situation because everybody in this room messed it up. Still, you ain't gonna. Hell no. That's the rules of the game. You understand? A lion don't apologize for taking your shit. A lion just comes up and take your shit. I know they're like, oh my God, how dare he? It's just that's how life is. You put your paws out there and you snatch what you want. It's the rules of the jungle. I'm not okay. Yeah, you know what? What if we are responsible for the way the community? What if the black men who came before us are responsible for the way the community is? So it's fucked up now. Ain't nothing else for me to do. Maybe I'm responsible for it, but I still ain't gonna take no ass whooping. I'm gonna learn the lesson from that, and I'm gonna move on. Because that's the nature of man. You see what I mean? Do you think these white folks are concerned that they mess up these neighborhoods and they got nuclear waste and this one? They just move on to the next neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? We're trying to move to a new planet anyway. I'm not gonna apologize, and I'm not saying it's our fault. You see what I mean? I'm just saying for those who say, well, it's the black man's fault. Okay, so what if it is our fault? So you're supposed to, the inference is that you're supposed to fix it because you're your fault. No, but it's your fault. No, I'm not gonna fix it. What are they gonna do? Sue you? Put you in jail? No, I'm not gonna do it. But oh my God, it's so not fair. Yeah, I'm not, fuck them. Not gonna do it. You see what I'm saying? So what are they gonna do? I'm just let me, let's go old school Italian. So what are you gonna do about it? Not a damn thing. I'm just asking you, brothers. Okay, so you got a couple of kids out of wedlock. You want me to stay here and take care of some kids? And you don't? No, fuck it, I'm not. And I know that's a horrible situation, and that's terrible. I take care of my kids. I love it. That was a horrible example. Let me try to get a better example. All right, I brought your car home, ain't got no gas in it and 2 flat tires.
Ooh.
I ain't got no money in my pocket, so I'm about to hop in this Uber and go home. You ain't gonna put no gas in my car. You shouldn't have let me use it.
Nah, bro.
That's cold-blooded. It's cold-blooded, right?
Yeah. It ain't that bad.
Bro, look, I'm just trying to. Don't take no ass whoopings from nobody. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't take no ass whoopings from nobody. Just don't. When y'all know, like, look, man, I'm the Blizzard King. Do y'all forgot who I am? Hold on a minute. Let me see. Let me get a little taste of this.
They forgot.
They forgot. Hold on. Praise God. Hold on.
You gotta
Look
remind
at that. Look at that.
There you go.
I'm not gonna, when you get a Boyce Watkins or a Dr. Umar Johnson, it's the black man's fault for the way the black woman is. So, what do you mean, bro? That's so insensitive. What are you, a girl? I don't give a fuck about this. I'm a man. Fuck, I'm supposed to be insensitive. That ain't the worst thing. No, just say no. Now the truth is, it's not our fault. None of you men here are responsible for none of this shit that's going on. 51% of black men are childless and don't have kids. 31% of black men are married and live with their wives, and there's about 18 to 20% of black men, give or take, even if they do have children out of wedlock. According to the CDC, we're the most involved fathers of all, and it's probably always been like that. So no, and nothing they can do about it. Get your passports and enjoy your life. That was harsh, but go ahead, man. Let's get some more people in here. Uncle Jerome, stepdaddy Jerome's wisdom. Go ahead, y'all. Who want to add on that?
Go King.
Russ came home with the car of 2 flat tires out of gas. I'm gonna get a Uber.
All right, Uber's here. See you later.
But listen, hey, look, we're not responsible for them sleeping and reproducing with the same man. We're not responsible for them avoiding men of structure, going to get you a thug. We're not responsible for it. No, we're sorry. They laugh when we try to correct them. They laugh at our face. They laugh when Kevin Samuels died. They laugh at every man of structure tries to help them. We don't want no help. We got this. And then want us to clean up their mess. So they make this mess effort. After them and the Sims who condone the behavior. I'm tired of it.
And even if we did make the mess, we ain't cleaning it up. Huh? We got You know what I'm saying? So that's the cold shoulder. Now what? What are you gonna do about it? Oh my God!
They don't want to listen. So
this done took a bad turn. This is a bad turn, but it's real.
Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, brother. Please go ahead, Tony.
Because I'm ex-military. Okay, I grew up in a 2-parent household. I was raised. You make something, you take care of it, right?
Yeah.
I was raised. You handle yours. I was raised. I did all of the things that they say you're supposed to do. I stayed in school, stayed off the street. I never jumped off the porch. I didn't want to jump off the porch because I saw what was off the porch, right? I stayed in school. I joined the Navy, did 4 years, got out. Now I make about 6 figures, right? So you mean to tell me after what I put myself through, after the hard work and
The
dedication I went through,
sacrifice and the delayed gratification. Go ahead.
right, all the sacrifices that now, well, all I have to, all somebody has to offer to me is the bad body built brigade, Bernice, bond with the bonnets and shit. That's
Gonna
what's
need
offered to me.
some recycled coochie and some other man's kids to raise. That's your reward.
Hell no, they ain't got nothing to offer but headaches to somebody else's kids.
I'm telling you to say no. No, I'm not gonna do it. No. And turn that cold shoulder and walk clean away. That's what I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Don't let the shame get to you, man.
But I'm wrong because I don't want to deal with that. I'm wrong. According to Umar Johnson or Ifatunde, whatever the hell you want to call himself, it is the black man who is responsible for the conditions of the community, and it's the decadence, and this is why the black woman acts the way that she does. Okay, you bring it kids out of there like your damn self.
Shoot, he one of them, dog. Don't want shoot out of wedlock kids in line and pander. He one of them. He's the reason why.
Man, I didn't even, bro. I wasn't even trying to get on Big Boy tonight, man. I really was trying to lead that conversation for yesterday because that had me heated just thinking about that. But my bottom line is, man, it's okay to be the bad guy. That's why I tell y'all, embrace being the bad guy. You the bad guy anyway. Even if you good, you still bad. So why not enjoy the benefits of being the bad guy? Let me help y'all out. Bam.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. You're all a...
I want you guys to be the bad guy, okay? Because being the bad guy will protect you from these people's shame and guilt, and it will protect you. Here's the most important thing. It will protect you from a life of unfulfillment because and regret. Because if you go down that path trying to please other people and do what they say you're supposed to be the good guy, when you're 67, 68, they're going to give you a gold watch and they say, congratulations, Tony, you did a great job. And your job will be replaced tomorrow. And when you, and in the context of a family, if you decide to be the good guy and help take care of them bastard kids and maybe have a couple of your own with this woman, you're going to be an old man sitting in the corner, 67 years old, right? And they're going to be calling you pawpaw, kids that don't look like you, right? You're going to have a wife talking shit about you. Oh, pawpaw, be quiet. He ain't the man he used to be. All these people coming in, not giving you, it ain't going to even be your house. It's going to be grandma's house. You see what I mean? You will be, you won't be remembered. You see what I mean? You just be used. I don't want that for y'all. When I read my stories, when I read the ancient stories of great men throughout history, that's not the story that their life tells. Being an unfulfilled, unappreciated man who dies as an old man, you know, in a house full of people that he's not related to because he decided to spend his time and resources taking care of some other man's kid. That's what Umar Johnson and Boyce Watkins want for you in the name of the PhD. As if they're Lord Almighty who's come down and you know, don't the Bible speak against stuff like that? The Bible says, leader, you can't have a holy marriage unless you got a virgin involved. And there's a reason. You see what I mean? So you know, whatever, man. Anyway, Jamal Smith, he said Jermaine's fault is always Jermaine's fault. Jamal Smith, in the words of the Father, give them your ass to kiss. Praise God. Death beat, dishonor, salute to all the insight from the panel chat, game changer. Who else we got up in here, man? My independent, Red Pill Stevens said independent and don't need a man. Let them marry themselves. Yeah, passport, bro. That's why it's been simple conversation. It's a big difference between a man amongst men versus a man amongst lovely ladies. Yeah. Look, man, this is a simple conversation we had. Y'all take it, absorb it. I'm just putting it in context. It's a cultural shift. It's not a thing that's going to go away because now it's on your minds. Just like gangster rap and gangster culture was a thing for like 20 or 30 years, this is the thing now. Passport bros is a thing.
That's the thing.
You heard my little boy, the little fella Crimson Sun who was here earlier? He looking at people like Austin Holland and said, well, shit, I can, if he can go to 13 countries, I can go to 2. You see what I mean? He already told I like Colombia. I like the food. So, you know, that is what's happening now.
Yeah.
Because it answers a question. It fills a deficit in our culture. Just like our brothers come up from Jamaica and from Barbados and they come to the United States to work. It's a thing. It's a cultural thing. So now black men are going to be traveling overseas for relationships. It's a thing. It's a cultural thing. And they're not going to be able to bottle this thing back up. Alvin, if you want to continue this conversation over on your page, man, I think it'd be a great idea. Other than that, appreciate you brave souls for coming through. Alvin Holden, always good to see you, brother, man. Keep being an anchor. King Betacuda, man, my Jamaican yard man. Thank you, bro. Always good having you up in here, young brother. Tony, man, you said a mouthful, man. You gave us that. Too much moxie. You got to, you got to handle that, man. But anyway, man, I appreciate you. I love you, brothers. Like I say, man, I'm only gonna give you advice that I give my own sons. You heard my son. You see what I'm saying? I give you the same advice I give them because I love you, and I want to see you win, and I want to see you succeed. That's it. That's all I want from y'all, man. Just to see you balling, happy. Other than that, man, this is Uncle D. I'm out.